Welcome to Streaming News Network by Claude McDaniel. News without the hype and biased reporting. Please like and subscribe.
This is Claude McDaniel with Streaming News Network. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass is facing renewed scrutiny after being away from the city during another major fire emergency affecting the region. This time, the incident involves a massive warehouse fire in the Boyle Heights area of East Los Angeles. Thick black smoke continues to rise from the site, creating air quality concerns across parts of the city and drawing international attention as the smoke was visible during major sporting events, including a World Cup match in Inglewood and a baseball game at Dodger Stadium. The fire is burning at a Lineage Logistics cold storage warehouse, one of the nation's largest refrigerated food facilities. Officials say approximately 85 million pounds of stored food may need to be removed and discarded as a result of the damage. Questions are also being raised about whether the fire could have been prevented. City officials had previously been alerted to concerns at the facility after a similar fire occurred there 2 years ago. Early reports indicate both incidents may have involved rooftop solar panel equipment, though investigators have not yet announced an official cause. Authorities continue to monitor the situation as firefighting operations remain underway. This is Claude McDaniel for Streaming News Network. A former Olympic athlete is facing charges following an incident at Washington's reflecting pool that has become part of a larger vandalism investigation. David Hearn, a 67-year-old former Olympic canoeist and 3-time Summer Games competitor, was charged with misdemeanor destruction of government property after authorities say he interfered with maintenance work at the reflecting pool. According to officials, Hearn allegedly reached into the water and grabbed a hose being used by a National Park Service employee. Records reviewed by federal officials show Hearn previously made multiple political donations to Democratic fundraising organizations and presidential campaigns. Hearn described himself as a curious citizen and said he reached into the water simply to examine the material being used in the pool. The reflecting pool recently underwent a $14.8 million restoration project ordered during the Trump administration. The renovation has drawn both public criticism and increased attention after reports of peeling paint, algae growth, and vandalism. Officials say 5 people have been arrested on vandalism-related charges, with 5 additional federal citations issued. Authorities have also received 14 vandalism reports, including one case involving nearly 300 feet of pool liner allegedly damaged with a blade. The investigation remains ongoing. This is Claude McDaniel for Streaming News Network. The U.S. Department of Justice has announced what officials describe as the largest coordinated healthcare fraud crackdown in American history. Federal prosecutors have charged approximately 450 defendants in alleged schemes involving more than $6.5 billion in fraudulent healthcare claims. The operation spans 57 federal court districts across 41 states and territories and includes charges against 90 medical professionals. Officials say nearly 300 of those charged are accused of submitting more than $500 million in false Medicaid claims, marking a record number of Medicaid fraud defendants in a single enforcement action. Authorities also reported the seizure of more than $127 million in cash, luxury vehicles, jewelry, and other assets linked to the investigations. One of the largest cases involves a Los Angeles area hospice operator accused of fraudulently enrolling patients in hospice care, including allegations that deceased Medicare beneficiaries were enrolled using stolen personal information. Prosecutors claim the scheme generated nearly $28 million in false Medicare claims. The Justice Department also announced new data-sharing agreements with multiple federal agencies, giving investigators expanded access to fraud detection tools and consumer complaint data designed to identify suspicious billing practices and healthcare scams more quickly. Officials say the nationwide effort reflects an intensified focus on combating fraud and recovering taxpayer funds. This is Claude McDaniel for Streaming News Network. Former professional wrestler Joe Doering, known for his appearances in both World Wrestling Entertainment and Total Nonstop Action Wrestling, is reportedly preparing to enter hospice care following a lengthy battle with brain cancer. According to family updates, Doering is currently fighting a third brain tumor after nearly 10 years of ongoing treatment. His latest health challenges come after multiple surgeries, radiation treatments, and chemotherapy efforts over the past decade. Family members say his condition has worsened in recent months as the tumor continued to grow, leading doctors to discontinue chemotherapy and place him on steroid treatments. Following a brain stem surgery in 2022, Doring developed significant mobility issues affecting the right side of his body and has largely relied on a wheelchair for daily activities. A fundraising campaign established by family members has raised thousands of dollars to help cover medical expenses and support his wife as she assists with his care and rehabilitation needs. Doring stepped away from professional wrestling in 2022 when his cancer returned. Before his time in Total Nonstop Action Wrestling, he also spent time competing in World Wrestling Entertainment and built a reputation as a respected performer throughout his career. Our thoughts are with Joe Doring, his family, friends, and fans during this difficult time. This is Claude McDaniel for Streaming News Network. A 17-year-old Florida teenager has been arrested in connection with a high-speed crash that claimed the lives of an elderly married couple in Ocala last month. According to investigators, the collision occurred on May 8 at the intersection of Southwest 38th Street and Southwest 67th Avenue Road. Police say the teenager was driving a Ford Mustang at a high rate of speed when he failed to stop at a stop sign and collided with a Ford Explorer. The Explorer's occupants, a husband and wife in their 70s, were transported to a nearby hospital, where both later died from their injuries. As detectives investigated the fatal crash, they uncovered evidence linking the suspect to a reported robbery that had allegedly occurred just minutes earlier at the nearby Ocala Sportsplex. Investigators reviewed surveillance footage, business security videos, and witness statements that reportedly showed the Mustang leaving the area immediately before the crash. Authorities say that because the fatal collision occurred while the suspect was allegedly fleeing the scene of a felony offense, investigators established probable cause to pursue felony murder charges. The suspect has been taken into custody, and the case remains under active investigation as authorities continue gathering evidence. This is Claude McDaniel of Streaming News Network. A federal appeals court has reinstated the Trump administration's nationwide use of expedited deportations, reviving a major immigration enforcement tool that allows certain removals without a court hearing. In a 2-1 decision, a panel of the United States Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit ruled that federal law gives the executive branch broad authority to apply expedited removal procedures. The ruling overturns a lower court decision that had blocked the policy's expansion over concerns about due process protections. Under the policy, immigration authorities may rapidly deport individuals who cannot immediately demonstrate that they have continuously lived in the United States for at least 2 years. The measure was previously used primarily near the southern border but was expanded nationwide under a directive issued in January of 2025. Supporters of the policy argue it strengthens immigration enforcement and allows authorities to process cases more efficiently. Critics contend that long-term residents could face wrongful deportation if they are unable to quickly provide documentation proving their length of residence. The Department of Homeland Security welcomed the court's decision, calling it a confirmation of the administration's authority to implement the policy. Immigration advocacy groups continue to express concerns about transparency and potential errors in its application. Further legal challenges are expected as the policy returns to effect nationwide. This is Claude McDaniel with Streaming News Network. Authorities in New York have arrested a suspect following a devastating motel fire that left 6 people dead, injured at least 2 others, and displaced dozens of residents. State police say 24-year-old Tyler J. Russell has been charged with 6 counts of second-degree manslaughter and 1 count of arson in connection with the blaze at the Knights Inn in Endwell, a community in Broome County near the Pennsylvania border. The fire was reported shortly after 6 o'clock Monday morning. When firefighters arrived, they found the motel fully engulfed in flames, with heavy black smoke and rapidly spreading fire conditions. Multiple emergency agencies responded to assist in the rescue and firefighting efforts. Officials confirmed that 6 people lost their lives in the fire, while at least 2 others were transported to local hospitals for treatment. The identities of the victims have not yet been released pending notification of family members. The fire also forced dozens of guests from their rooms. Relief organizations, including the American Red Cross, have been assisting those affected, with temporary shelter established for displaced residents. Volunteers estimate that more than 70 people were forced to evacuate. The investigation remains ongoing as authorities continue to examine the circumstances surrounding the deadly fire. This is Claude McDaniel with Streaming News Network. Media personality Megyn Kelly is criticizing late-night host Jimmy Kimmel over his selection of guest hosts for his annual summer hiatus. Before beginning a 2-month break, Kimmel announced a lineup of temporary hosts scheduled to lead his program throughout the summer. The list includes entertainers such as Tiffany Haddish, Coleman Domingo, Anthony Anderson, and Jelly Roll. Kimmel also revealed that comedian and actress Rosie O'Donnell will serve as a guest host later in the summer. Speaking on her podcast, Megyn Kelly criticized the lineup, describing it as politically one-sided and questioning the show's direction. Kelly focused much of her commentary on O'Donnell, referencing the comedian's past political remarks and recent media appearances. The exchange highlights the continuing political and cultural divisions that often spill into the entertainment world, particularly among high-profile television personalities and commentators. Kimmel is expected to return to his late-night program in early September following his annual summer break. This is Claude McDaniel with Streaming News Network. Actress Jennifer Grey is giving fans a nostalgic look back at the 1980s with a recently shared throwback photo featuring longtime friend Tracy Pollan. Grey, best known for her starring role as Frances "Baby" Houseman in the hit film Dirty Dancing, posted the vintage beach photograph in celebration of Pollan's birthday. The image captures the two friends enjoying a sunny day together during the height of their careers in the 1980s. The actress accompanied the post with a heartfelt birthday message, praising their decades-long friendship and referencing the classic song, Time After Time. Grey rose to fame with memorable performances in both Ferris Bueller's Day Off and Dirty Dancing, the latter becoming one of the most beloved films of its era. Pollan is widely known for her acting career and for her marriage to Michael J. Fox. Fans quickly responded to the post, celebrating the enduring friendship between the two actresses and sharing memories of the iconic decade that helped define their careers.
Thank you for listening to Streaming News Network videos and shorts. Please like and subscribe to our news channel.